it's Gabrielle, and this video is a sample from Studyclix Boost, our new rapid revision tool. Go to studyclix.ie/boost to find out more.
Hey there, it's Stephen here with Studyclix, and in this video we're looking at word problems in simultaneous equations. Now whenever we're faced with a word problem here, there's going to be three steps we'll follow. First we'll identify the variables, then we'll form equations, and thirdly we'll solve our equations. So let's take these steps and apply them to a question and see them in action. I'm told the cost of travelling to Dublin via train for 4 adults and 2 children is €87. The cost for 3 adults and 5 children is €98.50. We're asked to find the cost of travel for a single adult and a single child. Now, the first thing I want to do is identify my variables, and you're always going to find this in what you're asked in the question. We're asked to find the cost of travel for a single adult, so that's going to be our first variable. So I'm going to let that be x. I'm going to say x equals the cost of travel for a single adult, and then we're asked to find the cost of travel for a single child. So that's our second variable, and I'll call that y. So to look for your variables, it'll typically be in what you're asked to find out in the question. Now we need to form equations, and this will typically be from the pile of information you're given in the question. I'm told the cost for 4 adults and 2 children is €87. So watch how I turn this into an equation. I'm going to do 4 times the cost of an adult, which is x, plus 2 times the cost of a child, which is y, and let that equal 87. So I get 4x plus 2y equals 87. Then I take the second chunk of information and form another equation. I'm told the cost for 3 adults and 5 children is €98.50. So I'm going to do 3 times the cost of an adult ticket, which is 3x, plus 5 children is going to be 5 times the cost of a child's ticket, 5y, and let that equal 98.50. Now I've formed my equations, I'm on to step 3, solve your equations. Now how do we solve a simultaneous equation? Well, we want to eliminate either the x's or the y's, and to do that we need the same number and opposite sign in front of the variable. So I'm going to hone in on the y's here. I have a 2y and a 5y, and I want to transform those into the same number and different sign. So I think of the lowest common multiple of 2 and 5, which is 10. So to turn the top equation into a 10y, I'd have to multiply it all by 5 because 2y by 5 would give me the 10y. But then if I have a positive 10y on the top, I want a negative 10y on the bottom. So in order to turn 5y into negative 10y, I'd have to multiply the whole equation by minus 2. So let's go ahead and multiply our equations. Taking our time to multiply our equations, we get this. Next, what I'm going to do is draw a line under them, add the equations together so the y's eliminate. Then I'm doing 20x minus 6x to give me 14x. And I'm going to let that equal 435, take away 197, which gives me 238. Then I want to solve for x here, so I'm going to divide both sides by 14. And when I do that, I get x equals 17. And just to contextualize it in the question, x is the cost of travel for a single adult. So I'm going to say that that equals €17. Then I need to go ahead and find y. So what I do is I take this x value and sub it into one of my equations. I'm going to substitute it into the first equation. So it's 4x. So I'm going to do 4 times 17 plus 2y equals 87. Then I'm going to multiply this equation out and isolate y and get y on its own. And there we get y equals 9.50. Now just a reminder, you could have subbed into the other equation 3x plus 5y equals 98.50 and you would have gotten the same value for y. So then I can go back up to my variables and say the cost of travel for a single child is y, and that's equal to €9.50. So folks, that's what's involved in these busy word problems. First thing you need to do is identify your variables, and they'll typically be found in what you're asked to find in the question. Here we had 2 variables, so we have an x and a y involved. Then we form our equations from the chunk of information given, and then you simply solve them simultaneously. Now it's your turn to try this out. Pause the video here, work through these questions and check in with the solutions when they appear on screen. In question 1, we let x be the cost of an adult's meal and y be the cost of a child's meal. Then we form our equations and solve. In question 2, we let x be the number of 48-cent stamps and y be the number of 60-cent stamps, but be so careful in forming your second equation that we convert the cents into euros, so we have 0.48x plus 0.60y equals 25.68 euro. We either have to have it all in euros or we have to have it all in cents, one or the other. And in question 3, we're being careful with our units again. We're turning it all into euros and forming our equations then. Thanks for watching.